Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Keep It Concise. Let's get into the show. Yo. It's your boy, ConcisetheBarber. We're here. We're back. Keep It Concise podcast. I appreciate everybody that continues to tune in Sunday Night Live. I usually come in around 10 p.m. However, I had to do a day trip, had a family trip and everything like that. So I'm here just a little bit late, but we're here. And there's a few things I want to talk about. I know, my viewers, we like to talk about clippers and trimmers and everything like that. Have an interesting topic to talk about. Still has a lot to do with the industry, but before we get into all of that, I want for everybody to just shout out where you're from. Let us know where you're tuning in at. I appreciate everybody that continues to come in on here. But the first topic I have for y'all, I already know y'all not gonna be ready for, and that's okay. But there's a time and a place and a season for everything. So I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. People Genic, what's up? Robert, what's going on? Henry Barnes, Dez, what's going on? Fatal, what's going on, bro? Blessings to you. So we're gonna talk about something. And I don't think this topic gets talked about much when it comes to the industry. But I think it's how can I say this? I think it's very important for us to know that this is something that is a part of our industry. So this will give y'all a little bit of my background. I am a follower of Christ, and I have a real, true, and deep relationship with my Lord and Savior, and I try to live my life the best way that I can for Him, for myself, my family, my kids, and I try to go about this life the right way. I don't know everybody's belief, but I only can speak of mine at this moment. But being a Christian in the barbering industry is honestly an interesting thing. It's a beautiful thing, I'll tell you that, because we still have a lot of opportunities to reach out and touch souls and really have a healthy impact on people. But I have to be honest with y'all. Being a Christian in the barbering industry sometimes is I don't think it gets, like, just having a belief in this industry. I don't think it really. I don't know if a lot of people talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna tell y'all my journey a little bit. I have to be honest. When I first was getting into the barbering industry, I honestly was nervous, and here's why I say that. Because at the time, what I thought the barber industry is that everybody's shop looked the same, everybody listened to the same type of music. You got to be down to earth. You got to be a people person to the point that you just accept everybody, and you just go with the flow of how everything looks, right? Now, somebody like me, I mean, of course, I have a narrow path that I follow. There's certain things that I'm into. There's certain things I'm not into. And how do you still be a loving person, towards everyone, not being overly trying to be like everybody else, but not overly trying to be like, everybody that you meet. Hey, do you know Christ? Da 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 da. Like, honestly, when that conversation happens, it's always genuine, and I love that when that happens. I met a lot of Christian barbers. I did not know that there was a lot of Christian barbers. I'm just being honest with y'all, because outside looking in, before I got into the barbering industry, all I thought the barbering industry was about was everybody listens to all this same type of music. Barbers, all they do is got mad money under their bed, and they always rock the illest sneakers and this and that and this and that. Like, I didn't know that there was real, true believers in this industry. Now, of course, there's believers in almost in every industry, but when I looked at the barbering industry, I didn't know. I went to some of these expos, and I have to be honest, some of the expos, it was like, I just couldn't Some of them I just really couldn't rock with it. And some will understand when I'm saying this, but it was some of it was way too early for me to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. I can do this all the time. Like I wanted to see more of the business side in the industry more than just like everybody, you know, having a good time, partying, drunk, coming up to be mad random. I wanted to see the business side of the barbering industry because I took it serious when I got into it, to be honest. And I had somewhat of a hesitation on going to certain places. But when I met a few Christian barbers, I felt more like, okay, we in here. We in here. We just don't, I feel like some of us, some do, but some of us really don't speak on it as much as being a follower of Christ. And I like to see your light shine. I know a few of my brothers that I see their light shining and stuff like that. Now, am I saying I'm a perfect Christian? No, I'm not. I feel like we all got, stuff to work on. But this is a topic that I really want to talk about. And like I said, this is something I probably didn't see coming, but it's real that how do you navigate being a barber and a true believer in Christ at the same time. And I have to be real with you is that it's definitely possible for anybody that's coming into the barbering industry. You are a follower of Christ and you're really trying to see and how to navigate, where you really stand in this. Honestly, you're definitely going to stand out for one, but not in the way, not in the way of like you think you better than people or anything like that, or people are just going to shun you. No, but you're just going to stand out because honestly, you have more to offer than just haircuts. You have a lot, to offer than just haircuts. Finding the right barber shop, finding the right place, finding the right environment, you're going to there's a place for you. There's a place for you, and also you have so much impact. It's you don't even know it can happen that way, but you can have so much impact. And it's honestly a beautiful thing because you get to meet people all the time and they get to know who you are, like the real you. If you allow yourself to open up, that was one of the things I had to be honest with, that when I first got into barbering, is that it was like I knew I was a follower of Christ, but I don't know how much of that I shared with those around me. So there was people asking me like, hey man, you going to the after party, you doing this, you doing that. I'm like, nah. And one time I think I did went, and I felt very uncomfortable. And I ain't even going to do anything. I was just there, just standing around. I was like, you know what? Going back, either to the room, we went to the restaurant, got something to eat. But I'm not, that's just not my vibe. Nothing, towards anybody else. But as a Christian barber, there's just certain things that, those that are, you understand what I'm saying. There's just certain things you just don't entertain yourself with. So me focusing more on the business side was a lot more healthier. I have a lot of more healthier relationships. I connect with people because that's just what we're kind of about. That's just what we're kind of about. Now, there is another line of this, that there's certain things you do not entertain. There's certain things that you do not get involved with. There's certain people you just won't click with. And guess what? That is okay. That's really okay. You don't have to be cool with everybody. Not everybody's going to, be cool with you. And that's perfectly fine. You need to find your community, your unit where y'all understand each other, your eye level, and y'all trying to rock out this journey together. You don't need to be known by everybody. It's okay. Let's not try to get the fame of these things in this world at the end of the day. For real, for real. Just honestly be you, serve, because as a follower of Christ, that's what you're going to need to do. You need to serve and honestly leave an impact. Leave an impact. And honestly, I'm trying to do my best doing that. And I have to say that when it comes to this topic about being a Christian barber, it's just not talked about much. It's not talked about much. And I just want to shed some light on it because I want to let the Christian barbers know that it's okay. You're going to be all right. Do not sway. Do not feel like you got to be like everybody else. You do not have to follow any trend. Just be you, because you is enough, and you actually have a lot to offer, and you have some impact to give. And that's just something that I just wanted to shed some light on. So hopefully, whoever is out there that is like, honestly, I had to be real. Like in the beginning, I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get really in deep with this industry, or I'm just going to just stay to myself. But you can go as far as God tells you to go, and really have some healthy impact. Just stay the path, continue to be a blessing to others, stay true to yourself. Don't get swayed by all this other lavish stuff that some people have or don't have. Don't Who cares about all that? As long as you know you're doing what God told you to do, and you're doing his will, not your own, you're going to be straight. And cutting hair, honestly, is one of the best things that I have ever done. The clients that I have, that's my ministry. Like, me cutting hair and having clients come to my chair is my ministry. That's one of the things that I feel like God has allowed me to have impact in, not just to give out great haircuts, but also be somebody's light in that day. Give them some knowledge and wisdom in that day, or honestly, just be an ear that day. So keep pushing, keep fighting, y'all. And it's very important for us as Christian, barbers, to stick together. So all my brothers, all my sisters in Christ, I appreciate y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. You know what I mean? Like, one of these days, I want to have a Bible study at one of the expos. I think that would be kind of dope. Like, we all just meet up at one time, at some time, whatever, like that. But even on here, I might do like a separate channel or something like that, to really get into what God, called us to be. So this is something I honestly do take serious. And then this is the part that, like, the Barber, like, family, some know, but some don't know. So that's why I'm shedding light on it, to more of those that who I am and what I'm about. Cause I don't play with it. And also I don't I'm not just gonna sway to things that is not of God. So let's just do this together, and I appreciate everybody. So that was the main topic that I want everybody to have this evening, when it comes from being a Christian barber and how it's going to be okay in this industry. So let's get to the next topic. What clippers and trimmers y'all want to talk about? And then I have something after that, because it's a result of my last live. What's a clipper and trimmer y'all want to talk about? IG, I'm a go somewhere. No. Yeah, IG, just come on over to YouTube. All right, y'all. But what's a clipper and trimmer y'all want to talk about, and why? And then I have another topic we want to talk about, because uh I think we need to talk about this a little bit more. I want to dive deep into this other barbering topic. But what's a clipper and trimmer y'all want to talk about? We do a little bit of research with that, and then I have another one for y'all. Any pros and cons on some of the stuff that y'all seeing? I mean, I did a few reviews last week. I have a hefty one coming. I'm gonna try to, this week. I have a hefty one coming, and I can't wait for y'all to see that one. So okay, I said boost it up. What about it? What do you want to talk about? Mr. Williams, are you going to try that Murano trimmer blade? That's a great question. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just said, and some of y'all might understand me, some of y'all might not. And you know what? It's perfectly fine. As long as you stay true to yourself, you'll understand what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm going to try that trimmer blade, because at the end of the day, it's still connected to a brand that I do not connect myself with. I just literally told y'all, there's certain things about my walk that I have like a fine line with, and it has nothing to do with you know with some things, but it has a lot to do with some other things as well. So for me, I'm not sure. I'll pray on that one. I'll pray on that one, because even though it's his blade, it's still connected to a brand that I really don't connect myself with. And that's just real, you know, and I'll stand 10 toes down on that. And you know, how people feel about us, how they feel about it. But if it's not something I don't mix with, it's just something I don't mix with. To some of y'all might not understand that. Y'all gonna say, "Well, you're a product reviewer. You're supposed to review everything." No, 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 I'm not. No, I'm not. I just review. I'm a product reviewer that I review what I want to review. Now, there's some stuff that's very trendy that I'm like, you know what? Let me get on that. Let me see what's that. But I'm not going to review everything, and that's just real. That's why you have other product reviewers doing this too, you know. So for the stuff that I do review, it's going to be a real honest, concise review. But I'm not going to review everything. I know that might hurt some people, you know, they might not like that, but I'm just going to be real. I probably won't review everything. It's hard to do that for one, but I probably won't review everything. But if there's something I'm just going to stand on, it's just certain I'm just going to stand on. But I don't know. That's a good question. I'll pray on that one. All right. So you said to boost it up. All right. All right. Boost it up really good with Fusion Echo Blade. So let me tell y'all. So I just did that concise review last week. It's a nice clipper. It's a nice clipper. It, you know, first impression is almost like everything, right? So using it, and I still use it. I was using it the other day. It's the blade. And I know I can switch out the blade. Don't get me wrong. I know I can switch out the blade. But why come out with that blade on it? That's the part I don't get. That's the part I don't get. But yes, it's really good with the Fusion and Echo Blade. Me personally, I'll put the Echo Blade on it. I think any motor like that, the super torque motor with an Echo Blade is good. But not only that, I'm gonna do a video on how I reflex, like not reflex, how I remix mines. I'm gonna do a video on how I remix mines because that's not the only thing you should probably adjust, but we'll go into that. What is this? What is this? Okay. I start barber school in the fall. Hey, let's go, Des. Des. So that means that all the clippers and trimmers you got, you're gonna be doing some giveaways at the school, right? Because that's what it sounds like. Because you could probably help a lot of young barbers out with some new clippers and trimmers. So that's dope, Des. That's a good way to give back. The Babeless Compact. How you feel about them? Love them so far. You know what? They not bad, man. They not bad. I will say this. I'll be real with you. The trimmers, I like how the trimmers are rocking. I like how the trimmers are rocking. I don't I don't know what they did. And maybe it's just, you know, how mine came out, through the manufacturing, but I like how that blade hits. Are the JRL Diamantes worth it? Lewis, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Now, when I say I'm not sure, I'm saying it compared to the Onyx. I'm not sure if it's better than the Onyx. Now, is it something that's probably worth it? Very much so. I mean, honestly, $200, I mean, $400 for the combo, just as is, come out with the collab with Lamborghini. That's not a bad price at all, to be honest. Now, is it better than the Onyx? I have to do my, I have to do my research. I have to get them, test them out, go from there. I think I'm through with Stylecraft and Gamma clippers. Their trimmers, though, second to none. Really? Really? What made you say that? What made you say that, Mr. Williams? What you think about the Saber 2.0s? Oh, now I'm really curious. I'm, I'm really curious. A lot of people have been saying the compact trimmer hit. Okay, I'm getting them tomorrow. Yeah, they do. I'll be real, Daz. They do hit. I was surprised, like how they hit though. I was like, they hit like what's that trimmer? What's that trimmer I have? Just to try to compare it. Nah, not like those. You know what they hit like? For those that understand this, they hit like a wall detailer. They hit like a wall detailer. That's how they really cut to me. Now that I think about it, they cut to me like that, like a wall detailer, like the trimmer blade, like how it hits. Why are the manufacturers coming out with new products when they are only small changes with the new products versus the old products? Well, Neil, I mean, mm, man, I don't know. I feel like that's like almost every industry. I feel like even the phone industry, they come out with an extra camera, then they take away a camera. Then it come with a battery, then it don't come with a battery. Then come with a charging dock, and it don't come with a charging dock. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they do that, but that's their way of business. And it's either we either create our own to do something about it, or we find what works for us at the end of the day. But I have no idea why they do that. Like it's like they can go great in so many things, but go backwards in one thing, and it's like, bruh. Like I really think the boosted up went backwards with that blade. I think if that blade was different, it would definitely it to me like, yeah, okay, I see where what y'all doing. Wall cordless trimmer or corded? Good question. Good question. I'm gonna say the corded, low key. I'm gonna say the corded. I won't be buying until there's a major overall. I got you. I respect that. Nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff that's coming out is really nice. Like you can get some clean haircuts. Like here's the question: why are you getting new clippers and trimmers? If the clippers and trimmers that you have right now work very well and you had not had no problems with them, why are you continuing to buy more clippers and trimmers? Unless you somebody like me that just got like a knack, like I'm just very observant when it comes to new stuff. I like to have new stuff. I like to see how it works, how it's different from the others and stuff like that. That's what I like. Like I'm a fiend in that of the observation analytical when it comes to clippers and trimmers. It's just something that I just have a pull on, to be honest. But why really get something new? Now, when I do my product reviews, understand that there is always somebody on the market. There is, but there are some of us that's not on the market, and we over here still trying to buy stuff. But then when we buy it, now you've been buying stuff, you shouldn't have been buying it because you really been good. But when you get it, now you upset because it ain't no better than what you already got in a sense. And now you like, oh, this is trash. Da, da, da. It's not trash in a sense. You might just have something that's very comparable to it that you had no need for it at that moment. You know, now something dies, something breaks, stuff like that. All right, cool, yeah. But if you don't need it, you know how many camera reviews I watch? You know how many cameras I could have had? But I'm good with what I got. I don't need it just yet, but I still watch them just in case. You get what I'm saying? Like I still like to get the information just in case this one right here goes bad. I know what my next one's going to be, or do it when I need to add another one. But other than that, don't pull the trigger on something just because one of us product reviewers is doing something. Now understand, yeah, it's business, especially for them, but that don't mean you always got to jump to it. I didn't, how can I say this, man? I didn't push y'all to say, yo, push the purchase button now. I'm saying if you in the market, you looking for something, I honestly think this is a dope clipper to have. Yes, this is something that's going to stay on my station. I'm not saying, yo, 5 people right now. If y'all use my discount code, I'm gonna put y'all on the giveaway. That nah, man. Get the information. If it's something you think that you can add to your station, cool. But if it's something you don't need, then don't grab it. Y'all wouldn't be talking about prices if y'all always like y'all was really smart about how you went about it. That's all. Or you can be like Dez and win all the darn giveaways. you know, shoot. But or if you are in the market, use somebody discount code. I say it all the time. It don't gotta be mine. I don't care what it is. Just make sure that you ain't really, you know, don't have to pay full price on something if there's a discount code for it. But other than that, y'all, just rock with what you got. Master that. If it messes up, then get something different. At the end of the day, my bad. I went on a rant. I haven't tried a compact trimmer. They that nice though. Poncho, honestly, they're a healthy, trimmer that hits. They're health like, but to me, that's all it can do. That's all it can do. Now, is it high vis level hit? No, not at all. But it still hits. Like it hits like a wall detailer. That's like the best way I could put it. So like think about a wall detailer and then you having a high vis. I'm not I'm nitpicky. I'm gonna have to call you directly some other time so you can see what I'm talking about. But in short, that bar on the Phenom Clippers cam and the overall quality of its build is A1. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Some of the best cuts is with the wall magic clips. That's real. Yo, people was giving out blurry fades with a magic clip that only costs $80. Only costs $80 today. And we over here trying to get the most. Like, yo, I get these JRL Diamantes, my face is gonna be like, no, they're gonna look like how they looked yesterday before you got it. Me, that's just my thoughts. Saying some of the best cut. Oh, I said that. You talking tonight, preach to him, Nate. Yeah, you do buy everything. Don't be a Desmond. He said giveaway. Yeah, Des. Unfortunately, man, I think we all agree that you can no longer, be in the giveaways. I think the whole Concise family, the unit, it wasn't just me. It was a few of them that responded that way. I don't think they want you on it. Like we still love you, Des, but I don't think you can be in the giveaway. Echo Blade, Deep Tooth, or Shallow 2.0. I'm gonna say Echo Blade Deep Tooth, only because I feel like it has more versatility. It don't bald out well. The compact, yeah, I don't use it to bald out. I have certain trimmers, literally, that I use to bald out. I'm gonna tell you right now, one of my all around trimmers. I have easily three. I have three all around trimmers that can do anything and everything. Well, it's the cyborg trimmers, the Anus Phenoms, and no, four. That's I knew I had four. The the T45 trimmers, the cyborg trimmers, the Anus Phenoms, and the JRL Onyx trimmers. Those four for me can do anything and everything with any hair texture. Well, and I'm not I can't lie. If y'all have not tried the T45's trimmer, y'all sleeping. Y'all sleeping on those. Me personally, I think y'all sleeping on it. Y'all might, how like when people go to the movies and they say, "Yo, this movie's nice" or "This movie's whack." Don't be one of those people that say that go off of what all some people say like, "Oh no, don't get that trimmer, it's whack." I'm trying to tell you right now, if you haven't tried it, you don't gotta buy it. Find somebody that got it and say, "Yo, let me hold this for a day." Ain't no like it's a great all around. It's a great all around. I graduate barber school next month. Fatal. That's what's up, bro. Definitely proud of you. Keep pushing, bro. Honestly, I really, really am. I appreciate everybody that continues to be in barber school and really trying to do this the right way. I appreciate it. I respect it. You got to let me in the giveaways. Nah, no, I don't. No, I don't. You banned, bro. Sorry. The T45 blade is the Babyliss best trimmer blade, but the trimmer you can skip on. You can skip on. Nah. You know what, Fatal? I like the trimmer. I like the body of it. I like the feel of it, the sound of it, the power, everything. I don't know why people don't like it, but it's clean. What should you expect? Get a job, Des. That's what you can expect. Get a job. All right. Any more questions? Because I'm gonna get into my next topic. Matter of fact, let me pull that up because I thought this was I thought this was interesting. Oh, where I go? I go right here. I go right here. I go right here. Yep, yep. We're gonna talk about this again. There's much of waste of time, but it is what you make it. What do you mean by that? It was a waste of time. Like the school, the knowledge, like what's the waste of time? Like what you learning? You know what? I have a video on here that I need to get to y'all. Hmm. Okay. A lot of barber schools are just set up to get you to pass the state board test. That's the rest. It's kind of up to you. What's kind of up to you? Like they wasn't teaching you no like haircut techniques or anything like that. If you've been cutting, you might not learn much. What about like shear work? Jay, you all the way on mine. So you gotta scroll. There you go. Don't yeah, there you go. I seen that thing going all the way over here. I'm like, what's going on? So let me ask you this. What about the book? Uh the book knowledge. Do you feel like that's worth it? I'm gonna be real with you. You learn the most basic sheer stuff. Okay. What about like when it comes to like chemicals and all of that? I have to be honest. Barbers that focus on like the book knowledge, if you already been cutting, then honestly, then you should be one of those that really understand like very well the book knowledge of barbering. You know, the sanitation, the disinfectants, the chemicals, a certain type of dyes, the semi, the permanent, all of that stuff. You should be knowing, you know, alopecia. You should be knowing these things very, very well. If you already got the hair cutting stuff down, you should you should know that stuff well. What are the ratios? What are some to dos? What not to dos? You know what I mean? How to test, how to test to see if somebody's going to have a reaction. Where are the places where you can test that at? You know, how long you should be waiting to see if they're going to have a reaction or not. Like it's stuff like that that I feel like y'all should be knowing. There's the chemicals is what you will have to learn. Yeah, I think it's very important for us to learn that too. Perm relaxes color. Fatal. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody that hears this, the perm relaxer color, if you're in barber school, pay attention to that very well. I think you guys should be a master at this. Ask a lot of questions. And this is why I say this. I think that area, there's a lot of diversity in the barbering industry now anyway. There's a lot of color, there's a lot of styling. It's best for you to really understand that stuff now. It actually is probably like now is like that's going to be a common thing. Barbers, it's going to be a real common thing that you're going to probably going to get some clients that are asking for perm, relaxer, or some color. It's going to become a common thing. because a lot of people are doing a lot of like the hair is booming. Like people's hairstyles and designs is booming. You learn that well. You there's some barbers that don't do none of that stuff. Like for real. So you learning how to do that, like it's like you pass it enhancements. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I don't use that. I use this, and this is why. And you can tell your clients why and how long it's going to last, and they'll continue to keep coming to you. Like, I promise you, like, do it that way. Barber school gave you confidence and know-how. Your skills came later. Yeah, Fada. When I went on tour of the place, they won't doing nothing but playing around. I just want my license so I can learn what I don't know. I'm a month out of taking my state board. I'm studying shave, health, safety, chemicals, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's good. The best thing I learned in school is color, like covering grays. What? Retouches for days. Yeah, honestly, it's good though. It's good that you're still learning that. Just math. What you already know, great. What you don't know, just master. If you in school, if you already know how to fade, like this is where I did an apprenticeship. If I could have went to school, I'm telling you, I probably would have been I would have been a straight nerd with the book stuff. Because the cutting hair stuff I already did through an apprenticeship. So if I know I can do it and learn on the floor the way that I did, I think I would probably want more knowledge of the book. I'm just telling y'all. All right. Anything else? I'm about to jump into my topic because this ain't gonna be a long night, but we're gonna talk about some things. I got my other thing I want to post up. See, when you start doing stuff like that, Des, you're grooming yourself to how to be like a / teacher / instructor / like you're kind of like learning. I actually have a class. I have a class. Matter of fact, it's on the 4th. Yep, I have a class on the 4th that I'm doing, and it's always a privilege to do that. When somebody's reaching out and they want to use my services when it comes to like classes and teaching. I like teaching stylists. I like teaching stylists because there's certain stuff they can do and they can't do, and I like to teach them how they can do what we do without able to use a razor, because some of them, stylists are not allowed to use razors, or cosmetologists. So I like teaching those type of classes because I really show them how they can get the same results. They just need to know how to apply it. Half of the students with me never cut before, so I just practice my chemicals and I'm comfortable formulating and applying colors and perms. Fatal, that's honestly, bro, that's dope. Keep doing that, man. For real. I seen a couple of dudes that could help for real. Good. Sis, what's going on? Yes, we made it. I seen you calling, but I was live, so we made it. When did we get here? You don't know? Like 10:30? 10? Yeah, about 10:30. Yeah, we got in 10:30. So yeah, we made it, sis. All right. So third topic. We're gonna keep this rolling, y'all. 30 minutes in, we on third topic. I had a healthy response on my reel about click levers and floating levers. And for those that have missed it, I'm going to play it for y'all, and we're going to talk about this one more again so you can understand my stance and where I'm coming from, and also that I can learn from y'all as well. So let me go ahead. I'm a showcase this, and y'all just tell me. Hold on. Let me get. No, I don't want to get to it yet. And y'all tell me y'all thoughts. But listen to what I'm saying. Make sure y'all can see what I see. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do it like this. Y'all ready? Here we go. Y'all can't hear that, can y'all?
I hyped up the click lever.
Okay, we're gonna do that again. To me, this is where I feel like barbers kind of might have hyped up the click lever flow. Low key, I feel like we made that too popular. Like to the point like now we have brands doing what? 6 click lever. So for me, I kind of want as barbers as somewhat to really scale back and actually try floating levers. I would not be upset. Like some people get upset for brands making floating levers. Every time I use a floating lever clipper, I appreciate that clipper being a floating lever. Not everything needs to be a click lever. To me, so this is where I feel like barbers kind of might have hyped up the click lever flow. Low key, I feel like we made that. I paused that. Okay. So I want to know, honestly, some of y'all might not have been on here, but what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts when it comes to click lever and floating lever? Do y'all feel like, and when I say, let me explain this a little bit. When I say hyped up click lever, this is what I mean. That when you see something coming out that's a floating lever, you get upset that it's a floating lever. To me, that's like, well, now you want the click lever to just monopolize the system of how we fade. So is that also the same when it comes to detachables? Do y'all like why are companies still coming out with detachables? We don't need that. All we need is the click lever. Like, I'm curious, like, what is y'all thoughts on that? Because that's like having one crayon color. To me, why do you not want to know how to cut or fade with a floating lever? Like, why would you not want to know how? That's my question. Why would do you want to just stay stuck in just knowing how to do a click lever? Floating is king, no debate. Okay. Now here's my thing. To me, to say it's king, I think it's you can say that it's king. Like some people will probably agree to that, but me, I like detachables too. So detachable blades and understanding numbers and measurements and stuff like that is even scale with floating to me. But click lever is like I have, bless you, I have like one notch down. Not saying that it's not great, but yeah, it's a skill level thing for me. Click lever is what you learn on. Then you can move into to a float. But see, fatal, see, to me, that's kind of, I can't say that's backwards, but floating came first. Floating came first. So why not learn floating first? I honestly think that if you did floating first, you understood detachables. I think when you do use a click lever, you'll know how to use that even more efficient. I feel like there's some people out there, excuse me, that when they use clicks, matter of fact, how many clicks do y'all use on a click lever? 5 click lever. I only use 3. Now, most of y'all gonna probably say y'all use 3, or you're gonna say maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. But to me, anything more than 3 lets me know that you need a floating lever. Like if you using 5 to 4 clicks, to me, you yeah, because you'll know how to use all the way open, halfway, and close, and still get the fade that you still want to get without using the middle clicks. So, to be honest, if there was a clipper that had 3 clicks, how many of us really would be upset? To me, I'll be perfectly fine with it. Do we need 5 clicks? No, I need close, middle, and open. If we got a clipper with 3 clicks, close, middle, and open, how would y'all feel about that? And see, you said Click is default now. But why? Why is it? Because I feel like we as barbers, we made it so. We made it so. I appreciate floating still. Or even having the option, like how the Andis Phenoms has the options that you can do a click or then twist it to have it as float. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. My preference is the click, but I can use a floating lever. I just prefer the click. Okay. Because their favorite influences is using clicks. You know, no one's similar to Norm. Okay. I have this to say. Sometimes we got to put on blinders. Stop thinking about everybody else. Stop thinking about your influencers. Stop thinking about all of that. At the end of the day, figure out what works for you, master it, and go from there. And like get your skills levels up using a click lever, a floating lever, a detachable. I say these things because I like to see us as barbers know how to use these things. Even if you're not a master in all of them, but the fact that you still know how to use all of them is something. And so you're just not stuck with just knowing how to do something just one way. There's people that know how to use no guards and no lever at all. And it's just a clipper and a comb. Now, I know how to do a little bit of that. Don't get me wrong. I can do that. I did a fade. I did a fade challenge with no lever on a clipper. Now there's one skill level I have not done, and I don't know if I would try it, and that's with the razor and the comb. I have to really learn that. Somebody will have to teach me that. That's not something I'll just do. But why stay stuck in just one thing? It's hard for me to understand that. Can't get in between. If you know what I mean. You just rhyme, bro. This is probably the reason why I still have my wall magic clips. If you can fade with detachables, you're goated. Word. I use 3, close, open, middle. Right. That's all we do. That's majority of people, that's all they do. So what's the Mhm. Then the other 2, the detail. Now see that right there, it's the detail, but you're detailing to a certain standard of just to where that length is. If I need to detail fatal where something is, when you have an area that's dense, a dense area, let's say like most of the times we know somebody that got like a dark patch right here for some reason, because their head could be indented or whatever, this head shape. The floating lever to me will get that out way easier and faster, and the knowledge of what can get that out a lot faster than a click. I think the click is more trial and error than a floating. The floating lever is like you would know because you have more freedom, more range to understand what that is. You'll find out quicker. It's like I'll put that up against a 1, I'll float it, I'll lay it down, I'll do this, I'll tighten up the lever a little bit. Okay, nah, boom, get the 0, boom, got it out. With the click, you got the 1 guard, you click, let me see if that work. No, click, let me see if that work. No, click, let me see if that work. No. See, to me, it's like I already figured it out with the floating to me. So only the master has a nice float? Nah, I can't say that, Fatal. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you who has a beauty. Like, there's a few that has a nice float. My black magic clips got a nice float. My vapors have a nice float. My masters have a nice float. My MV2s has a nice float. Yeah, there's some more, but those are the ones that just come off top. Click is also more uniform. True, but how can I say this? The only thing you need uniform is your foundation. How many of y'all really agree with me when it comes to that? I don't. As long as your foundation is uniform, then fine. I don't need a clipper to have. How can I say this? Now, blade having detachables is somewhat different. I can. That's a whole different story. But The click is also more uniform. It is, but it's so ah, it's so edgy. Like it's so rigid. That's the best way I could put it. There's no softness to a click. I love the magic clips. I got 3 of them. One with the master blade, one with the stagger tooth, and the JRO. They go so hard. Des, you got like every clipper in the world, bro. if you know all the way, halfway, and close, once you start fading and see what needs to be clean, your eyes and ears going to know exactly what to do from muscle memory. Yeah, yeah, that's true. What are we talking about? What's better to you, click lever or floating lever, and why? Or do you look at them even kill? To me, it's detachables, floating lever. They're even, and then I have a click lever kind of like right under it. I look at that as like I can't even call it training wheels because the floating lever came before the click. So to me, it's like if you just stay stuck at click lever, I feel like you need to learn floating. That's all I'm saying. But I'm curious what you think. You said a new T45 has a night float also. That's a click lever though. But are you saying that it flows like a float? The JRLs like the JRLs is like a fake floating lever. It's like in between of click and floating, just because how soft it is. But it still has its spots that it goes into. So putting a fast feed blade on that, with the extension of that, how that blade is, you can adjust. You can adjust very, very well. You are highly respected if you use a floating nowadays. I think all of us should need to. I don't think that should be something that stands out. I think it should just be a healthy blend. I feel like everybody should have a floating lever clipper still. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Remove the click from the jaw floats nice. Got you. And I hope Ennis the great does the great on the Master 2 clipper floating that's coming. Okay. And it's really like when it comes to like masters and like floats and stuff like that. Did they miss? I don't think they miss. But that's just my take. I think to me, I got the floating levers still above the click levers. Nothing wrong with click lever, y'all. Nothing wrong with them. I'm not bashing them. What I'm saying is, as barbers, I think we need to understand that floating levers is like you can get some real clean work, but not only that, it enhances your eye. You can. It's hard to explain. You just got to experience it, and I don't want none of us to miss out. Even if you're just starting today, you know about barbering. Like, go back. There's nothing wrong with going back. When I was starting out, I went back to the detachable. I was nervous. I was scared of detachables at one point. I was like, oh man, that looked too hard. I seen people online, and sometimes I gotta be real. Y'all gotta get away from the people that's doing stuff online. They've been doing this stuff for a very long time. They done mastered it like 3 times over. So when they showing you like, oh yeah, I just did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you really got to be in a room with somebody and really like teach you how to use certain things, because angles matter, the pressure matter, all of that stuff matters. What type, what blade to use first, all of that stuff matters. And sometimes when you're looking at the stuff online, they just getting it done like this, like it's nothing. Best believe they got years in the game to get them to that point. So you just got to try it, but don't try to compare yourself with somebody that's been doing it for some time. Learn, like, get under somebody and like go backwards and really find out like how to really use this stuff. Where did barbering even start from? You know what I mean? If that Master 2 gets more quiet and maybe an extra hour on the runtime. I hear that. I hear you. What's your guys' go-to float lever clipper? I use the corded masters for my float. Respect. If you can't cut with the float, you can't cut. Well, I can't say that, but I just think it's good for us to experience different type of techniques. What's my go-to? I have to agree. Mine is not the corded masters, but just the cordless masters. That and the vapors. Those are my go-tos. Nah, just challenge yourself and use a floating lever. You will thank yourself later. Yeah, that's true. When I challenged myself to use detachables, I was glad. I'll be honest though, I was nervous. I was nervous fading with those. I thought you can fade with those like how you like I remember I was learning. I was like fading up, and I learned how to fade up first. And then I was like, nah, yo, they fade down. Then I was trying to do fade down. Then I was trying to do the blade open, the one open, the two open, half guard, half close, zero guard, half close, then the blade close. I mean, then the lever open and then by itself and then close. There were so many techniques that I did, man. I thought I could do some of that stuff with the detachables. Man, listen, that job, I was cracking up at myself when I was cutting with them because I just knew that I'm making this fade higher than it's supposed to be. Then I realized, like, wait, this is not like a regular one, like a one guard. So now I got to learn measurements because when somebody said, oh, let me get a one, and you use a one detachable and you made that joint light, I mean, like 5 o'clock shadow light, and it's not that light that they want, you start learning these things. You get what I'm saying? So you just gotta challenge yourself. Definitely gotta challenge yourself and learn some new ways. Only float I like is the Annis Master lever. Wall is okay on the go magics. Got you. Finding the spots on a float are tough. Ah, you know what? Fatal. I mean, in the beginning, yeah, I think so. Very much so. I think anything in the beginning is gonna be tough, but finding the spots, it could be tough, but once you find it, you feel like you feel like a sensei, like it's nothing. Like you can look at a fade and you know exactly what to put on it. You'll know exactly where you need to have it. Like best way I could put it, if somebody was cutting next to you and they started out, they start out with the fade, they balled it out, and they started out, and they just said, "Hey, look, I need you to take over." You should be able to look at that fade. This is what I think that detachables and floating levers teaches you. You should be able to look at that fade, know exactly what guard to grab automatically, not testing out to see if it's going to cut, but you know exactly what guard to grab, where it needs to be at in the lever, so you can get to that next level of the fade. That's what detachables and floating levers taught me. I'm glad my first clipper was a corded wall legend. Yeah. The Annis Master notches is the birth of the click lever, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, that's real. I ain't gonna lie, that's real. Now I'll be real with you. Not that many times. I think when I first started, I looked at the notches, but I stopped looking at notches a long time ago. How fatal you just move it a little at a time, up or down. The notches on a corded and its matches had me rocking. Slight work. You making me want to cut some hair. I know, right? I would get hype about this stuff, man. I do. But I just want us to be the best that we can be. Learn your chemicals, learn your sanitation disinfectants, learn your color, learn that stuff. Learn shear work, learn angles, learn apex, parietal ridge, learn these things because once you know how to apply it, man, you can be a beast. You're going to be a beast. There's classes I still got to take. Learn your weaknesses. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. Never stop learning, y'all. I don't care how long you've been in the game. I got to charge this. You looking at socks? Never mind. Shad Fades just passed my state board barber school is the first step. You say you just passed? Congrats, bro. Congrats, man. That's what I'm talking about. We got nothing but scholars on this joint, cuz. Say no. What's up, Prince? Yeah, that's dope, man. I can't wait to see the next generation. It's gonna be crazy. I already know y'all barbers are gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be learning stuff in like year 2. I done learned in year 8. Congrats, what state? Maryland. I wasn't in Maryland. I was in Delaware today. Detachables are the most superior. The fair is way better. The fade? I think you mean the fade. Did JRL drop a new clipper? They got the Diamante clipper and trimmer collab with Lamborghini. I don't think it dropped just yet, but I think there's pre-orders. I'll challenge him just to see where I'm at. Dope. I still got this going on. Okay. The notches on the Ennis Master was different though, because you got to remember that the taper blade opened to a 2.4. What popper blade and clipper does that now? You asking me? You asking the chat? That sound like a giveaway question. You can't win the giveaway, Mr. Williams. You said I'm hyped for school. I know you are. I want you to record it though, Dez. I want you to record your journey. Dez, what state you in? How many hours you got to do? And is there a practical in your state? He's in VA, and yes, there is. I think his hours around 1,500 or 13 or 1,250. And there's a practical in his state. And I know that because it's the same as PA. I'm asking the chat. Okay. He said the taper blade opened up to a 2.4. What popular blade and clipper does that now? Anybody know it? That's a good question. I'm in Cali. Okay, no practical. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, you said the Annis Masters? He just said the Annis Master was different though, because you got to remember the taper blade opened up to a 2.4 millimeters. What popular blade and clipper does that now? That's what he's asking. No other blade will? The JRL. With the master blade. Any clipper with a stretch bracket opens up to a 2.4. Nope, that doesn't open up the same. Detachables are way better than lever clippers. The fades come out way better because of the metal blades. Gotcha. Yo, this is a good question, y'all. This is a good question. Who gonna Google it and try to find out? I'm trying to see who gonna get it. Mr. Williams, let us know when somebody get it. Popular blade and clipper. Okay. Master with a taper blade opens up like nothing else right now. There's two things. There's two that I'm thinking on. Clearly, well, let me just say this, Mr. Williams. How big is this brand? Because to me, I think it's a brand, but I don't know if it's big like Anderson Wall. But what you let me know. But the fat blade. Okay. I'm gonna keep going back to it. I'm gonna keep going back to it. And what clippers did you measure? Fatal. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm surprised, but okay. Wall JRL style craft. Okay. So stretch bracket mods. Okay. So I'm gonna say two, Mr. Williams, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, honestly. Um, the first one I might be wrong about. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me just see. Let me go here. Okay, no. So the only thing I could think about that this could probably be compared to, because you said it just did you say it just came out? If it just came out, I'm thinking about that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I could be wrong, but I think he's talking about this. Don't say it yet. Let me get to it. Here I go. Mr. Williams, wait, you're wrong, bro. Wait, what happened? Okay. Let me know if I'm wrong. This is what I was thinking about when you said it. I could be wrong, but let me know. Let me know if this is it. I mean, this thing, they put some work on that one. But let me know. I'm just curious. You know what? I want to try it. I do. I want to try it. Honestly, I want to know if it's like really something that's effective. You said who tried that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I remember hearing about it. I do remember hearing about it though. The Ennis Masters opens up more than 2.4 to be honest. So the other one I was going to say is a detachable one blade. Yeah. So the other one I was going to say is matter of fact, let me show y'all. And I could be wrong, but when I used it, um, it had it, it, it has some length to it. Let me see. Wait, not that. Nah, not that concise. The West Tech is still yet to be proven. If you slap the JRL Babeless taper blade on a stretch bracket, it'll leave the same hair length as a corded and its master. So what? So what clipper? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm hoping that it has a floating. Um. So what clipper are you talking about? What clipper are you talking about, Mr. Williams? I was gonna say this one. Y'all gonna be like, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way that was. But this one opened up very like it opened up well for me. I don't know if it's at 2.4, but this opened up well for me. This bad boy. The Babeless and the T45, it has a nice length to it. Um, yeah, I easily skip guards with this clipper. But I'm curious. I'm curious what you're saying, Mr. Williams, because I, I I probably thought too far out the box. I don't know. Well, let us know, man. Let us know what you're talking about. But I do want to try that West Tech though. I mean, 10,000 RPMs, magnetic motor. It goes all the way up to a two guard. I mean, I'm curious. It looks floating, but it could be click. Will, you are incorrect. We measure all with the caliper and the master wins. Brandon, blessings. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast, man. We've been talking about a few things. You talk about uh, being a Christian barber. We talked about some new clippers and trimmers everybody was asking about. I guess the boosted up, how it had some differences, but not much. Talked about the JRL Diamantes. We talked about floating levers and click levers, and that's where we're at right now. And which one's better? No clipper does it, bro. We have to look at the depth of the comb blade. No one's considering that. The new Babeless taper blade still doesn't reach the depth because its lever doesn't open up enough. So so what is it? Are you saying what Popper Blade does that now as like there is one, or are you saying there isn't one? I guess that's where I'm getting confused. I think and also here's another thing I wanted to add to this topic. I think once it gets to a place where you really master how to cut with multiple different types of like clippers and trimmers, the measurement with the blade just open, it really ain't gonna matter much at all. So I know some of us care about that. Some of us care about stretch bracket, but as a necessity, Nah, because once you mastered it, all of this stuff for real, it don't matter what clipper you get, you're just gonna knock it out. No clipper does it, bro. Oh, I read that. Fatal, I'll bet you $50 no other blade and clipper in its stock setting opens up like the master taper blade on the quarter or cordless and its masters. And concise, I was saying there isn't one. Got you. I agree with you. Will nothing opens as long as the masters. Yeah, he was agreeing. He was agreeing. You way too nice, Nate. What you mean I'm way too nice? What you mean I'm way too nice? What you mean by that, bro? I ain't too nice, dog. Sorry, no, that don't even sound right. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Rum Barber showed it on his YouTube page back in 2022, I think. I went back and checked and I missed his page. Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie. My bad, Fatal. Yeah, y'all was going back and forth saying the same thing. Y'all was going back and forth saying the same exact thing. I was saying, I thought he was saying, like, can y'all guess which one does it now? But he wasn't saying that. So that was my fault too. The Diamante looks cool. Yeah, it do. It look clean. I ain't gonna lie. It look clean. I can't wait to see how it cuts though. I'll be honest. Any other questions? I'm about to head up off of here. I had a long day, honestly. But hopefully for those that just got in, go back to the beginning when I was talking about being a Christian barber and all the stuff that I experienced, being one and where my mom was at, all that jazz. Just opening up, being honest about that stuff. Yeah. The Ennis Master is actually 2.8 millimeters. It cuts longer than a detachable one blade, which equals 2.4. I just hope it performs well. I'm skeptical on the trimmer. A lot of people say that, and I think it's because of their experience of the Onyx trimmer or the trimmer before that. But for me, my Onyx trimmer is one of my best and top trimmers that I have. So to me, I don't see them going backwards. They don't go backwards with their stuff, to be honest. So we'll see. I'm not skeptical on the trimmer because I know how the Onyx performs. I just know a lot of people are because of their experience with it. I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are hyped for the JRL collab. I am. It's it's something that's out there that we haven't seen before, so I would love to see how that thing cuts, how it sounds, all of that jazz. Me is not me. Why not? I think they changed the trimmer blade a bit. Yeah, they could have. They actually changed the clipper blade. Not changed it, but the man, I had the word right in the mechanics of it. After the Onyx, there's no way I'm not hyped. Yeah, I don't know. Some people, people have their preferences. That's like the best way I could put it. Because to me, what some people will say, like, oh no, they don't work that good. I'm like, I don't know. Because them high visits, a lot of people was like, I don't know about them high visits, the silver ones. And I had to be honest in my review, and I was like, yo, these things hit. And now look, months after, everybody started noticing that the high vis started to hit. To me, it's the same thing with the Babeless T45 trimmers. Them things hit. The clipper is nice too. Like that's a healthy combo. That's a healthy one too. Not that many. I have to say this for real. Not that many combos are a healthy 1-2. Sometimes you get a great, amazing clipper and an okay trimmer, or vice versa. But to me, the Babyliss T45s is both healthy. The Saber 2.0 and the Saber trimmer, both healthy. Some people like the Cyborg trimmer. I'm one of them. Fire. Some people don't really like the Cyborg clipper. So it's like, you know, JRL for me, they did the clipper amazing with the 2020C. The trimmer was okay. It was a great balled out. But when the Onyx came, it was healthy, clipper and trimmer. Now we're going to see. We're going to see if the Diamantes are. I think it is limited, but I don't know, to be honest. The new JRL will be the same as the Onyx, just a new package with a Ferrari tag on it. Not Ferrari, Lambo. Yeah, 400. It's not the same. Here you go. Why my comment got a number 3 by it. Des, YouTube is doing something where they're showing like top people that comment and stuff like that. So you're number 3 out of all the people that comment. You leave the most comments, but you're top 3. There's somebody that's number 1. There's somebody that's number 2. You're number 3. That's what that is. JRL really snatched Bevel's chain. Nah, not really. I'll be honest. JRL is on a whole different level to me when it comes to like what they was offering. And honestly, they could have scaled back and still been competitive. But I think they just really wanted to go a different route. But they to me, they low key kind of flex. They low key kind of flex in this dip. We have to talk about the technique. Then we have to talk about technique. Then how a new clipper cuts. A nail clipper cuts also. Can you say that again? I'm kind of confused. Wow, thanks. Don't thank me. Thanks to YouTube. That's something they did. YouTube got a Yap icon now. I guess. I don't know what that means. For real. Hush the budget JRLs now. I mean, it could be. I don't see that, He's saying techniques matter more than the clippers. Very much so, yeah. Very, very much so. That's true. I will have to agree. That's why I think it's good to know how to use the different types of clippers and trimmers so your technique can always level up. Yep. Like how many of us are like right hand, like dominant, like you're right-handed? How many of y'all ever tried to cut with your left hand before? Give it a try. Maybe not on somebody, new. You got a family member you could do it on. They get like a 1 all around. Let's give it a try. see if you can do it. We have to talk about barber techniques rather than how a new clipper cuts. Right. 10 years from now, there's going to be a new Tesla clipper. Yeah. Is it fair to say that the Lambo collab will dictate the future of JRL? Nah. Honestly, I think JRL is like, if I had to say, I feel like they're just in their own lane and they do what they just want to do. And I mean, I think it's respected, but I don't think it would dictate the future of JRL. I think JRL is just, they got their own way of doing things. Is everyone over Stylecraft and Gamma? It feels like that to me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I still have some things that I still like about them. They still have one of the like their blades. They really leveled up on blades, so I'm not mad at their blades, the Vapor and the One Blade. So when it comes to their clippers, I definitely feel like they might have something coming out nice. For real. I could be wrong, but I think they do. But their trimmers will always be in everybody's top 5. Not everybody, but it'll be in somebody most people's top 5. He said with an Elon Musk pick on it. She's Tesla Clipper. Yeah, I heard some rumors about that. Nah, JRL can drop Lambo and still be in the game like Babel's did. Right. With the Ferrari. Right. When they did the Ferrari collab. Stylecraft and Gamma isn't going anywhere, but Wall and Andis are making a strong comeback. Babel is here to stay, and JRL is a rising star. I could respect that. I'm not mad at that, Prince. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get going. I appreciate y'all. I had to get up early, got a lot of stuff to do. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. We hit up 3 topics tonight. Next week, we might have a guest. I'm not sure. Still trying to figure that part out. But if we do, it's going to be a surprise. Y'all not going to be ready for it. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all subscribe. Leave a comment. If you have not seen my reviews, check out my reviews. If you got any questions, you know what I mean? If you need some discount codes, use this bad boy right here. I tell everybody, screenshot this and screenshot this so you can have the codes. Now, the Andis should be Concise or Concise 10, either or. But I appreciate y'all for always tuning in. I know I got on here a little bit late, but my Concise family always comes through. We have healthy conversations, and we just bring all of this, to the stage. And like Prince said, CTB, you know what it is, man. Shout out to Des. Y'all be blessed, and y'all take it easy, y'all.